Our story begins a very, very long time ago. Imagine a time before people, before animals, even before plants. About 4.5 billion years ago, our planet Earth was born. It was not the gentle blue and green world we know today. Instead, it was a hot, chaotic ball of molten rock and fire, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets from the vast emptiness of space. Volcanoes erupted everywhere, spewing lava and gas, creating a thick, toxic atmosphere that no living thing could breathe. This was a truly violent and inhospitable beginning for the world that would one day become our home. Slowly, over millions upon millions of years, things began to change. The planet started to cool down. Water vapor began to condense as the Earth cooled further. This led to an incredible event: rain. It rained for centuries. This relentless rain formed the first oceans. Within these new warm oceans, something truly miraculous happened. The basic chemical ingredients for life started to come together. Eventually, around 3.8 billion years ago, the very first, simplest forms of life appeared. These tiny organisms producing oxygen, transforming the planet. The world was slowly being prepared for bigger and more interesting creatures. The stage was set. The Earth was finally ready for the arrival of animals, plants, and, eventually, us. After an immense period dominated by dinosaurs and other fantastic beasts, a new kind of creature began its journey. Our own story starts in Africa, millions of years ago. Early human-like ancestors, known as hominins, began to walk on two legs. This was a massive change. It freed up their hands, making simple tools. These early humans were not like us. They were smaller, and their brains were not as developed. They lived in small groups, constantly moving to find food and shelter, surviving in a world filled with powerful predators and unpredictable challenges. One of the most important steps in our journey was learning to control fire. This was a game changer. Fire provided warmth and light. It scared away dangerous animals, making their camps much safer. Crucially, it also allowed them to cook their food. Cooking made food easier to chew and digest. This extra energy helped their brains to grow larger and more complex. Fire became the heart of their communities, a place to gather, share stories, and strengthen social bonds. As their brains grew, so did their abilities. Early humans, like Homo erectus and Neanderthals, became expert toolmakers. They learned to shape stones into spears and blades. They could hunt large animals, providing rich food. They developed art, buried their dead, and then, around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens emerged in Africa. For thousands of years, humans lived as hunters and gatherers. They moved with the seasons, following herds and collecting wild plants. Their lives were tied to the rhythms of nature. But around 10,000 years ago, a revolutionary change began in different parts of the world. People discovered they could plant seeds and grow their own food. This was the beginning of agriculture, enabling people to stay in one place. Villages grew larger as people produced surplus food. Surplus allowed storage, and people built more durable homes from mud, wood, and stone. Some became builders, potters, and weavers. Time for new skills and crafts. As villages grew, they turned into the world's first cities. This happened in places like Mesopotamia, in what is now the Middle East. Cities had thousands living closely together, creating new challenges. To keep order, people needed leaders and rules. Governments managed resources like water and protected cities. With cities came writing, first for accounting, then for stories, laws, religion, and history. Systems like cuneiform and hieroglyphs recorded knowledge. For the first time, knowledge could be passed on accurately across generations. This set the stage for bigger empires and new ideas. With cities, writing, and organized governments, great civilizations rose. In Egypt, pharaohs built magnificent pyramids. Along the Indus, cities like Mohenjo-Daro had advanced plumbing and grid streets. In China, dynasties like the Shang perfected bronze. In the Americas, cultures like the Olmec carved huge stone heads and developed calendars. These empires became centers of power, wealth, innovation, and trade. As civilizations grew, they traded goods and ideas across long routes like the Silk Road. They traded spices, silk, and metals, and along with them came religions and knowledge. Beliefs like Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam spread, transforming societies. Science and philosophy developed in places like Greece and India. An exchange of ideas accelerated human progress. Key inventions, the wheel, iron tools, paper, changed transport, warfare, and learning. Gunpowder later changed warfare. The compass made navigation far more reliable. Explorers set sail, connecting continents and changing global trade. Ancient empires declined, but their legacy endured in laws, engineering, and culture. The Roman Empire spread law, language, and engineering across Europe. Knowledge was preserved in monasteries, later fueling the Renaissance and the Age of Discovery. The end of the Middle Ages saw a new spirit of curiosity, the Age of Exploration. Driven by a desire for new trade routes and aided by better navigation, explorers like Columbus and da Gama connected continents. These voyages led to the Columbian Exchange, new plants, animals, and ideas. Horses and livestock moved continents. Printing spread ideas. Diets and economies around the world were forever changed. The scientific revolution, Copernicus, Galileo, Newton, used observation to challenge old ideas. They showed the Earth revolved around the sun and discovered gravity. Observation and reason fed the Enlightenment, debating liberty and rights. Ideas inspired revolutions in America and France, reshaping government. The Industrial Revolution introduced steam power, factories, and mass production. Railways and steamships reshaped travel and trade, but also pollution and hardship. Industrialization spread technology across the globe. Today we are more connected than ever. Aeroplanes, telephones, and now the internet move people, goods, and information instantly. Information travels around the globe in an instant. We can talk and learn with a few clicks. Our economies, cultures, and challenges like climate change are now global. From a fiery ball of rock to interconnected digital cities, history is a single story of change, and a story that is still being written.